Hello, MrVanleider here. Before I forget this stuff, today you're watching a gameplay by Sempmatic Chaos, aka Hakeem, aka Exhale, aka Semps111, aka the London Moho, aka No Donut. Should point out at this stage that he named himself virtually all of those things. Yeah. Anyway, today I'm going to touch on the whole Hutch quits, in inverted commas, scenario, of which I know precious little. I'm going to assume that what I do know, I'm correct about all of it. Facts really aren't important in what I'm trying to achieve in this video, but if there's factual inaccuracies, don't care. Going to do a bit of comedy comparing things, in this case Hutch, with equivalent things in a different aspect of life. Okay, that's probably quite confusing. Okay, so the idea works when you compare whole categories of thing with another whole category of a different kind of thing. For example, you could, and this is not what I'm going to do today, you could compare YouTube commentators with cars. You could say, in this scenario, C-Nanners is the Ford Focus. He's a safe, reliable family car. He's one of the most popular cars anywhere on the road, anywhere in the world. And you can compare that to, obviously, Jesus, who's a Chevrolet Corvette. He's mad, he's bad, he's dangerous to know, he's scary looking and sounding. Obviously, driving a Corvette or watching an Obviously Jesus video is an intense, visceral, and occasionally bloody experience that you won't forget in a hurry. Okay, so that's the concept. Today I'm then going to compare the sadly departed from YouTube, not from life, Mr. Hutchinson with the band, musician or artist that he reminds me of most of all. Please bear in mind when watching this that most of this is done with no attempt to be factually accurate, balanced, correct or anything. It's merely to encourage you lot of bedroom dwellers to crack the weakest of smiles. So on we go. In the future, when they eventually get round to writing the great history of video games on YouTube, Hutch will no doubt have his own hefty, leather-bound volume, which is often borrowed from school libraries by schoolboys who don't play a lot of sport because of their weak constitutions. Therefore, it's only fair and right that he's also a heavy hitter when I compare him to the world of music. How heavy? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Hutch as the Beatles. Oh no, wait, wrong picture. Hutch as the Beatles. So how is Hutch the Beatles? Well, my first reason is that the career of the Beatles can be seen to closely mirror that of Hutch. The Beatles were not the first white guys to largely rip off a black genre and attempt to flog it to white people. That was Elvis. Similarly, Hutch was preceded by, in the YouTube commentary scene, by Excalizors, Blame Truth, as well as others. Here's, however, the comfort and ease in the early careers of these two that rocketed first the Beatles and then Hutch into their place in history. The Beatles by writing simple, catchy pop songs about falling in love, and not like Elvis, dying on the toilet, and Hutch by crafting simple, catchy commentaries about his top 5 if he were gay. This early success for the Beatles was termed Beatlemania and consisted largely of teenage girls screaming and crying at airports, outside hotels and just about anywhere else Paul, John, Ringo and George set foot back in the 1960s. Almost half a century later, Hutch repeated this feat, except this time the screaming teenage girls were in fact screaming teenage boys, who instead of being moved by music, were touched by Hutch's ability to quickscope 3 guys and then say something profound. We can see this love in these images of 2011's Call of Duty XP in Los Angeles, which are eerily similar to the scenes experienced by the Beatles all those years before. So that's the early years covered. Of course, no rise to the top is ever trouble-free. The Beatles experienced a rather major hitch when they said that they were on TV bigger than Jesus. This caused an awful lot of angry religious people from the American Deep South to say that they were going to set fire to Beatles records, with the implication being that they'd set fire to actual Beatles if they ever set foot in, you know, Alabama. Half a century on, many of these people still haven't calmed down and realised that Jesus was supposedly all about forgiveness. For Hutch, well, his drama was spread over multiple instances: false categorization controversy, doing it for the money controversy, starting arguments with other commentators, often with hilarious results controversy. Whilst these dramas probably seem like pretty small beer compared to picking a fight with a cult leader who died 2,000 years ago, one thing's sure: there are two groups of people that it's always a bad idea to offend: religious extremists and 12-year-olds on the internet. For this reason, Hutch and the Beatles are like peas in a pod. So now I'll fast forward the rest of the gameplay, because it's, well, he's got his MOAB, it's pretty dull from now on, and I'll move on to my final reason why I'm comparing Hutch with the Beatles in this perhaps first in the series of comparing YouTube commentators to other things. Yeah, the final reason is the crazy Indian weirdness that the Beatles went through towards the end of their career, and really sort of stopped them being so much a band and more made them sort of a comedy roadshow in my eyes. And Hutch has always been sort of a bit susceptible to a bit of this crazy new ageness, in my view. You know, it may be the fact that he's Californian and I'm a cynical Brit. Obviously the Beatles are British, but they don't count, they're celebrities, so yeah, completely different. But yeah, you know, he seems like the kind of person who'd want to locate your chakra or your yin or your yang or one of these bizarre are there other forces? There are probably other forces, but this has been the last reason why Hutch is like the Beatles. This has been Hakeem going ham on Dome. Fast forward at the end of the gameplay. It's just about to end. If you've enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, other whatnot things. Hopefully I'll do another one of these videos, maybe next time Wings of Redemption as Public Enemy.